In the Himalayan foothills of northern India, the rains have turned deadly once again. Heavy monsoon downpours triggered violent floods and landslides that tore through entire neighbourhoods in Jammu and Kashmir. At least 30 people have lost their lives. Homes have been buried, vehicles overturned, and families forced to flee in the middle of the night. The Tawi River, normally a symbol of life for this region, became a torrent of destruction. Its banks gave way and its waters pushed with unstoppable force into villages and homes, erasing walls and carrying away the belongings of those who lived by its edge. Among the survivors is Hafeeza Akhtar, a resident of Jammu. She spends her morning scraping thick mud from her floor, her hands still trembling from the nightmare of the night before. Her story captures the shock, the fear, and the sheer speed at which the disaster unfolded. When we saw the flow of the Tawi River, we did not think it would overflow, but when we woke the children up, the water had entered our home. The police came and helped us. They were kind and rescued us. We are grateful to them because they saved the children. They saved lives. They told us to move our belongings, saying, "You can recover the goods, but not the lives." We didn't even lock the doors or worry about the house. The landslide damaged our car and scooter. Her voice breaks as she recalls the police urging her to leave everything behind. In that moment, there was no time to think about property, about money, or even about locking the door. The priority was survival. The children had to be carried out, often through windows or across rushing water. In the chaos, cars and scooters were crushed by falling soil, and entire streets turned into rivers of mud. Across Jammu, similar scenes are unfolding. Families return to what remains of their houses, structures weakened by floodwaters, walls coated in sludge, furniture soaked and broken. Neighbours dig together, clearing debris with bare hands, salvaging whatever can still be used. Some sift through piles of clothing and photographs, remnants of lives interrupted. Others stare in silence at the wreckage, wondering where to even begin. The floodwaters climbed higher than most could have imagined. Witnesses describe ceilings nearly submerged, fans dangling dangerously close to the rising currents. Hafeeza recalls that horrifying sight inside her own home. The water reached this point. Despite the floor being pretty high, the water was touching the ceiling fans. We couldn't open the doors and evacuate our belongings beforehand. We only evacuated the children and didn't worry about locking the house. We just escaped. Her words describe a scene no family should ever endure. Water lapping at ceilings, doors jammed shut, lives squeezed into moments of decision. To leave or stay was no choice at all. Staying meant certain danger. Escaping meant survival, even if it meant abandoning everything else. For children, the memory of that night is one of terror, being shaken awake by panicked parents, rushing water filling the home, and the sound of shouts, sirens, and pounding rain. Parents lifted them to safety, passing them from hand to hand until rescuers carried them away. For days after, the youngest survivors remain shaken, clinging to their mothers as the cleanup begins. The Tawi River itself tells the story. Once calm, its flow has been transformed into a brown, angry surge. Its edges are lined with overturned cars, washed-out roads, and fractured bridges. The same river that irrigates fields and sustains daily life has become a symbol of the fragility of existence here. Authorities say they acted quickly, deploying police and disaster response teams to rescue as many as possible. Residents like Hafeeza credit the police with saving lives, but questions still linger. Could more have been done? Were warnings issued in time? And why do the poorest, those living in the most fragile housing along the river, always suffer the worst losses? Officials defend their response, calling the rainfall unusually intense, far beyond what infrastructure could withstand. Meteorologists confirm that monsoon rains are growing more extreme, with sudden bursts of rainfall overwhelming rivers in minutes. Climate experts warn that global warming is intensifying these events, making Himalayan communities especially vulnerable. This disaster is not isolated. Year after year, the Himalayan region sees floods, landslides, and earthquakes, disasters that are often worsened by human settlement patterns. Construction on riverbanks, deforestation on hillsides, and unplanned urban sprawl all add to the risks. What should have been a natural monsoon season instead becomes a deadly tragedy. But beyond the statistics and analysis lies the human cost. Families now sleep under makeshift shelters, cooking meals over open fires, waiting for aid. Some grieve the loss of loved ones swept away by currents too powerful to fight. Others grieve the loss of security as years of savings, their homes, their livestock, their fields, are erased in a single night. Still, resilience is visible everywhere. Men shovel mud from courtyards, women scrub floors layered with sludge, children help carry buckets of water to wash away the filth. Life, though scarred, begins again. For survivors like Hafeeza, there is gratitude amid grief. Gratitude that her children are alive. Gratitude that neighbours and police risked their own safety to rescue others. And gratitude that the community, battered and bruised, stands together in the aftermath. Her story ends with a simple truth. Possessions can be replaced, lives cannot. The floods of Jammu have once again shown how fragile that balance is, how quickly the calm of night can turn into a fight for survival. As the waters recede and the mud dries, the people of Jammu face the long task of rebuilding. But they also face the haunting memory of what the Tawi River unleashed. Their voices call not just for sympathy, but for action, stronger preparedness, smarter planning, and a recognition that climate change is no longer a distant threat, but a present danger. In the end, this disaster leaves behind not only destroyed homes and broken roads, but also a reminder: nature does not wait. It tests, it takes, and it demands respect. And as Hafeeza scrapes her floor clean, one stroke at a time, she carries that message for her community and for the world.